Have you ever been in a book slump that you thought you would never get out of? That's me right now. But I have a foolproof plan to get me out of the longest book slump I've ever been in. So let's go. What better place to get out of a reading slump than Barnes? Grief carved me in half, and fury honed those pieces into a weapon. The way that this book would scare me off from dating. Hello, my beautiful besties, and welcome to the first reading vlog of 2025. It is low-key unfortunate that the first reading vlog of the year is going to be me getting out of a reading slump, because of course I would have to enter the new year in a slump, but I literally feel like 2024 was honestly just a continuous slump. Yeah, I feel like last year was honestly the same for a lot of us, where we were kind of just all in a constant state of like, I'm in a slump, I think I'm out of a slump, oh no, I think I'm back in a slump, you know, whatever. Okay, you get the idea. So we're going to be getting out of a slump, and we have a foolproof plan. We have multiple phases we are going to be going into in this video to get me out of my slump. And phase one is what I like to call fresh out of the slammer, where we are going to be rereading a favorite book to get back into the habit of picking up that book and falling in love with what the words are on the page. So let's do that. What better place to get out of a reading slump than Barnes? Let's go. Oh. Don't be shy, let's go. We're at the wonderful place of Barnes, and it would not be a Barnes trip if I didn't get some books first.
He asked what could he do for me. I told him that my love is free. But can you match me? I can do it all for myself. Want you, but really don't need help. So can you match me? I like luxury.
Okay, we did in fact get 3 new books. I will give you a haul when we get home. I'm not showing you now. There's so many people here. I'm low-key embarrassed. Anyways, we are about to do a little bit of reading. Look how cute my little book pouch is. Hot girls cry over fictional characters. If that is not me, I don't know what is. Okay, did I just call myself hot? That's a little conceited.
Why are you the way that you are?
Anyways, as you guys know, we are on step 1, phase 1 of getting out of this book slump. And that is, again, as you guys know, rereading a book. And the book we are rereading is Kingdom of the Wicked. I literally read this in October. It's actually literally December 30th, the day that I am starting this video. So I am rereading this not even 2 months after originally reading it. And that is because I love this so much. This entire trilogy is actually incredible. It quickly became my new obsession. It is my favorite fantasy series I've ever read, and very potentially my favorite series I've ever read in general. So I'm very excited to reread it. I actually have already started my reread, but I'm only on page 29, which is chapter 3. And let me just tell you, I've been underlining. This is such a fun reread for me because of how the series goes. There is so much that happens. So reading just these first 2 chapters and the prologue, I'm already noticing things that are like low-key kind of hinting at like just everything that happens in this book, but like you just don't really realize it. And then there's things that are just like little ironic things that are like, what did you mean by that when you were writing it, Carrie? What did you mean? You know? So I'm really enjoying rereading it, and I cannot wait to do some more of my reread. It is so good. If you haven't read this trilogy yet, highly recommend. I'm gonna stop because I could literally actually hype this up for 24 straight hours without stopping. So let's get some reading done.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It's the end of the weekend, but I still wanna turn up. Yeah, I still wanna turn up. All I want is to go again, but you ain't picking your phone up. Why you messing my head up? Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is
I'm living my best life out here rereading this book. This is so good. Those look so bad. Well, I'm glad that those are on there forever when they look like that. Not the best hearts I've ever drawn, but anyways, they're on there permanently now. Okay guys, we're at the library. This is actually the nicest library I have ever been in. Also, I hope that I don't sound funny because I'm trying to talk really quiet. Wow, rude. She said I sounded funny. Anyways, this is the nicest library I've literally ever been in. I would show you guys more, but it's busy and I don't want to be that person. But just know it is so nice in here. I'm gonna be up in this all the time, okay? But there's a coffee shop in here, so we got some drinks that we're gonna try. I got what is called a peppermint patty, and she got a polar bear. Mine is a peppermint mocha. Hers is a white chocolate peppermint mocha. Slay. We're gonna try them for you and let you know how they are. Cheers. ASMR. It's pretty good. I'd say like a 6. I think I'd say a 6 too. We're in agreement. Anyways, that's the taste test. I'm actually gonna edit a video and then I'm gonna start reading. So I'll come back when I'm reading. But I wanted you to vibe with us, okay? I'll see you in a minute. More than a minute. Whatever, shut up. So it turns out I actually am updating you a minute later because I literally didn't bring my SD card reader. And the footage is on the SD card, which means I will not be editing right now. I guess that just means we're gonna have a little bit longer to read. So we're gonna do that. Come along for the ride. Join the journey. It's weird. I saw her put milk in this. Why does it taste like she used water? Do you know what I mean? Anyways, let's read.
Up and leave. Take a lot of courage just to live out your dreams. Bigger picture I could see if I just close my eyes. Have the foresight to believe. Time don't move backwards, it speeds to the future fearlessly. Charging forward when I open my mouth, though I may not know how.
This reread is giving me life. Hey besties, it is time for a reading update. I literally look and probably sound insane. I am just progressively getting sicker by the day, so please ignore that. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about this book in this video, only because I have a whole nother reading vlog where I have read this book for the first time, but I did have a few extra thoughts that I wanted to add that I didn't have the first time I read this, and then I also had a few quotes I wanted to share with you guys. So first of all, I feel like rereading this was literally the best decision I could have ever possibly made, especially at this point in my life with the fact that I am going through pregnancy loss right now, and that is a lot of grief to carry and has been extremely difficult. And even if it doesn't really look like it from things that I post on my social medias, I am deeply struggling with this, and this book carries a lot of talk about grief because our main female character Amelia is grieving her twin sister Victoria, and that is kind of what pushes the whole plot point of this book and the entire series into action and gets the ball rolling. So there's a lot of talk of grief. You really see her dealing with that, avoiding that, and so on and so forth, and really trying to avenge her sister. And I think that there's just certain things that have been said in this book that have really hit so close to home, and it has been a way for me to almost feel not alone, even though these are fictional characters. They're not real, even though I wish they were. They're not running around doing these things. This is fake, but it is a way to kind of feel a little less alone and know that, like, clearly these are things that other people have felt while they are grieving in some form or fashion, because people are able to write about it, and it's not a feeling that I am alone in. So that has been really nice about it. And I have been annotating this book like absolutely crazy, and I did have a few quotes that I found that I really wanted to share with you, and like a reason why I wanted to share that with you. So if you don't want to hear some quotes from this book based on just personal preference, you want to know nothing about it, then skip to whatever time is on the screen, or find the chapter down at the bottom of the video and skip this next part, because I am going to read you guys a handful of quotes. So the first quote I really wanted to share with you guys comes from page 42, and it says, "There were 100 different choices laid out before me and I'd done nothing." I feel like we can all resonate with that in some form or fashion. There's obviously for all of us going to be a situation where there could have been so many options that we could have taken, and yet we chose to do nothing, and then we are later reflecting on that and feeling guilty or whatever the case may be. And I just really loved that when I read it. The next quote is actually like an entire paragraph, and for some reason I just really loved it. So this whole paragraph comes from page 66, and it says, "It seemed I'd been wrong earlier. The goddess of death and fury hadn't ignored my pleas. She'd simply been biding her time, waiting for me to turn my despair into something she could use. A twig was just a bit of broken wood until it had been sharpened into a spear. Grief carved me in half, and fury honed those pieces into a weapon. Now it was time to unleash it." And I just love so much about this paragraph. I love the way that it's written. It feels very lyrical, talking about a twig was just a bit of broken wood until it was sharpened into a spear. And the part saying grief carved me in half, I obviously am resonating with a lot because I genuinely do feel that way. Not gonna go into detail or I will start crying. I just loved it and I wanted to share it with you guys. The next thing I wanted to share with you guys was a little bit of the banter between our two main characters, Amelia and Wrath. They have such a slow burn throughout this first book and just kind of throughout the trilogy, but it is so good and I love the banter between the two of them. So I'm gonna share a little conversation that they had because I love it. It says, "You won't succeed in killing me, but it would be a vast improvement in skill. Maybe I can't kill you, but I'll find other ways to make you suffer." And then he says, "Trust me, your very presence is accomplishing that." And I just, I don't know why, but their banter, I just eat it up. I think it's so freaking funny the way that they argue. I just love it. And then the last quote I wanted to share with you guys is another one that I just deeply resonated with, and this is coming from page 148, and it says, "I finally managed to erase all physical signs of the attack, but the memory would never leave me." And I just feel that so deep in my bones because I have no physical signs of having my miscarriage. My body has fully expelled all of the product of the pregnancy, I guess is how you would say that, but that memory will never leave me. Everything about that situation is something that will truly be a part of me for the rest of my life. There's also a little part of me gone that I will never get back. So that quote, when I read it, just kind of, I don't know, almost felt like a bit of a physical blow because I just relate to it so much and I hate that I relate to it so much, but it's just true. So yeah, those are some quotes I wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, this reread has just been incredible for me. I seriously cannot recommend this book enough, and honestly, again, rereading this now that I am going through a time of grief and an extremely hard time in my life, I do feel like if there's any of you watching this that are going through a time of grief, no matter what you are grieving, I feel like this book really could be great for you because, I mean, maybe not for everyone, but me grieving, I do already love this book, but the aspect of grief being talked about in this has been genuinely extremely helpful to me in the weirdest way possible, and yeah, I've been loving it. So that's my reading update. We're about to actually finish this book. I'm currently on page 272, chapter 35, and the goal is to completely finish this book today, and I'm so excited to finish this and move on to our next book. So yeah, we're gonna get reading. I'm so excited to finish it, so let me stop my trap from yapping. We're gonna shut up and we're gonna get reading. I literally was just talking to you guys about how I felt like this book was really helping me currently through my grief and how I felt like this could be a great book for you to read if you're going through grief. And I just got to another paragraph that I just underlined almost the whole thing because the same thing, and I wanted to read it to you guys. So again, if you don't want to hear the paragraph, skip like 30 seconds or so because I'm about to read it. She basically says, "The world felt like it was caving in around me, and sometimes I'd gasp for what felt like hours, unable to draw in enough breath. Life hurt. All pleasure was gone. Anything that once held meaning was long forgotten, buried deep in a void I couldn't break through." And I feel like that is honestly what going through this pregnancy loss has felt like and been like. I am starting to find a way to dig myself out of that hole a little bit, but I have some really good days and I have some really bad days where it feels like I just can't stop crying and I just can't move on. So this is just, I mean, so spot on in the most heartbreaking devastating way possible. So yeah, I love this book. I love the writing. I love our characters. And this book and this entire trilogy actually was a 5-star series. Every single book was a 5-star for me the first time I read it, but I have such a deeper love for this series and for these characters, even more now than I ever did before, and I don't even know how that's possible. This is an incredible book, and I know it's not going to be for everyone, but this series and this book means more to me than maybe any other book and any other series I have ever read. I'm gonna shut up. But I literally was just telling y'all that, and then there was just another thing. So
I complicate things. One of my many skills. I'm making things up, all in my mind, 'cause I analyze their body language.
just in case y'all were wondering, she's over here reading Archer's voice. What's the saying? It's a canon of it? Is that what people say? I feel like it's a canon of it for beginner readers, but I could be wrong. Anyways. Okay, besties, it is time for a reading update. We have obviously finished Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. As you guys know, this was a reread, so I'm not gonna say too much about my thoughts and feelings. I feel like I have said a lot throughout the beginning of this vlog of how I was feeling. So just to reiterate, I honestly think it was the best decision for me to go ahead and reread this book, not only to help my relationship with reading currently, as I have been in quite a long slump, but also just the phase I'm at in my life. This talks a lot about grief, like I mentioned earlier, and that was really hitting home and was an incredible thing for me to read at this point in my life, as I've said. So obviously this book is staying a 5-star. Truly, if I could give this book higher than that, I would. This book and this universe, the entire trilogy, they're all 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-star reads, completely breaking the scale. I don't think I will ever read a series that I love as much as this one, and that's honestly saying a lot because there's a lot of series that I've read that I've deeply connected to and deeply love, but I don't know that anything will feel quite the same as this one. So that is that. Now obviously we have officially finished step 1 of this plan we are going through to get out of this slump, which means it is time for phase 2, which is to read a fast-paced book. And what better genre to read for this step than a mystery thriller, and what better author to read in that genre for a very fast page turner, a very enthralling story than Frida McFadden's. We're gonna be reading The Boyfriend. I'm honestly, well, I actually have already started this and I'm currently, I think, on page 93. Let me double check that. 96, I was close. I've actually been reading this on my Kindle because this is on Kindle Unlimited, but I am about this far through the book and I honestly am enjoying it so far. I think this is my second book I've read by Frida McFadden, and I can wholeheartedly say that she is very good at writing in her genre. She is amazing at making the character that is the weird, the creepy person that's doing the bad thing. She's so good at writing some of their lines or some of their inner dialogue to where it almost, you can feel that it's coming off nonchalant, and you can feel that these characters aren't really thinking much about what they're saying or thinking or doing, but it's also very like bone chilling and creepy and like ominous. I'm completely feeling that in this one too. I actually quite literally have read this on my Kindle before bed the last couple nights and have had to distract myself a little bit before going to sleep because it has had me really on edge. I get scared so easily, literally by the littlest things. So don't come for me if you've read this and you're like, Tiff, it's not that serious. I get it, but it does have me on edge, but I am liking it. I'm hoping to finish this today. And then I did just want to update you guys. This is not a part of my get out of a book slump plan necessarily, but I did start listening to an audiobook a few days ago when I was doing some cleaning, and I'm almost done with it, and that is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. I love listening to memoirs, and I've been listening to this one, and there has been a handful of times that she's been talking about something that has actually had me tearing up. I've absolutely been loving listening to it, and I feel like it is kind of helping me inevitably get out of my slump a little bit. So I am really enjoying that, and I cannot wait to finish it. I think I only have like an hour and a half to 2 hours left, so I will probably finish that either today or tomorrow. So not a part of my plan, but it is a book I'm currently reading, so I thought I would just let you guys know. If you're someone that has watched Gilmore Girls and and you love it, or you know who Kelly Bishop is and you've seen other of her work, because oh my god, I didn't realize how much she has done in her career until listening to this memoir. Highly recommend listening to it. She reads it herself, and oh my god, it's just a absolutely beautiful, I don't know, I just love it. Like, it's just so good. So anyways, we're gonna sit down and do some reading of The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. Let's go. How did I not I never saw this. Alright. Interrupting the B-roll because I was reading it on my Kindle and I don't think this was on the Kindle, so... Dude, I also just want to say, because I just had this thought by the like author's note to the Dear Barnes & Noble readers, since this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, I have to say I'm really glad that I am not dating, obviously, because I am married. I'm married! The way that this book would scare me off from dating for the rest of my life, I'm honestly sure. I'm honestly positive that if I was single and I read this book, I would never date again. So...
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same, yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my, all good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high.
No, this is so unsettling. I cannot. That's insane. That's insane. Okay, so I just want to say, first, this book has like a past and present timeline, and for that, so far up to 109 pages, the present is in our main female character's perspective, and the past is in our main male's perspective. And I do want to say, one of the reasons I didn't rate The Housemaid too high was because there wasn't really a plot twist to me. I feel like I kind of saw everything coming, and I do feel like there's not going to be a plot twist in this for me. I feel like I already kind of know what is going on and what the dynamic is and kind of how it's going to play out. So I will keep you updated on if I am actually shocked, but I really feel like from our very first chapter we got in the past that I have kind of had a suspicion of like what's going on. Maybe I'm wrong, you never know, but I don't feel I'm gonna be shocked, but this definitely is a page turner. That's for freaking sure. So, hey besties, it is time for a reading update. I have finished The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and honestly, this book surprised me a little bit, and I was pleasantly surprised, thankfully. So the other book I've read by her is The Housemaid, and when I read that book, I had the plot twist didn't shock me. Like, everything that had happened and been revealed, I kind of had seen it coming, and I still enjoyed that book because I was very enthralled and captivated, and I really flew through that book in like under 24 hours. And so I knew that going into this book, I would either maybe not be surprised by the plot twist, but still probably fly through it. And one of those things ended up being true. I did end up flying through this book. I literally read this in like 5.5 hours, like for the whole book, which is a very quick reading time for me personally because I am a bit of a slower reader. But I also literally read this within under 24 hours again. Her writing is just so quick, so fast paced. It is so enthralling. Like, you read it and you just can't stop because that's just how she writes her books. I'm pretty sure I said this earlier, but she is very good at what she does, and she's definitely writing in the right genre for her. Now, obviously, by my earlier statement, you would have probably guessed that I actually did not guess the plot twist in this, and I was a bit surprised. So I will say with that, I did have a very small inkling about the plot twist, but not very far before it actually happened and was revealed. I think I had an idea about this plot twist literally like 2 chapters before we actually found out, and it was just the tiniest little general feeling, and I kind of brushed it off really, really quickly. But yeah, all the things that I was saying earlier in this video that I was like, I think I know what's going on here. I think I know the vibe. No, I did not. No, I actually did not. And this did have me shocked, and I really enjoyed it. If you are trying to get out of a slump, reading mystery thrillers, in my personal opinion, is such a good thing to do and to pick up, because it really can help, because it's just so fast paced and you kind of just fly through them. And I definitely think Freida McFadden's books, as this is the second one I've read, would be a great option for you if you're trying to do that. So overall, I did really enjoy this, and I read it really fast, but it's not my favorite book. Mystery thrillers are just not my favorite in general, but I think I'm gonna end up giving this a 3 or 3.5 out of 5 stars. I can't remember what I put on my Bookly. Let me actually look. Okay, I put 3 stars. So we're gonna go with that, because that is in fact how I was feeling when I finished this book. But honestly, I would still recommend it if you're someone that loves mystery thriller, or you need a book to get you out of a slump, because I literally read this in less than a day. So we love that. Also, I know the lighting is weird. I know I'm looking kind of crazy. It's literally 11:14 p.m. I just took a shower. Okay, I'm about to go to bed. I actually have brownies in the oven. Can't wait to eat them. But anyways, we have obviously finished phase 2 of this getting out of a slump process, and it is time for phase 3, and we are entering the phase of reading a short and sweet romance book. And I will just say, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did start this book last night, and do I have some thoughts? Do I have some thoughts? So the book I am reading is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This has been a book that I have been eyeing for such a long time, even before I got it and put it on my physical TBR. This is a fairly new addition to my physical TBR, if I'm remembering correctly. And oh my god, I am so glad, guys. I am so glad that I started this. I'm so glad that I decided that this was just gonna be the book for me at this time, because guys, I am actually loving it. It is so good, and I'm literally only on page 49 and I'm obsessed. I was like 8 pages in and I was giggling. I am like so giddy, kicking my feet. I can just tell that this is going to be a romance book that I thoroughly enjoy. Like, I am just really loving the dynamic between our two characters already. I love a good grumpy sunshine. I love a good small romance. And I was texting Bestie Faith about this book because I started it. She was saying how this book really gives like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce if Travis Kelce was like a small town baker. And oh my god, like, she could not be more spot on in saying that. And also, I was reading a specific chapter and I literally put the book down and went to type this in my notes because I wanted to remember to tell you guys. Okay, chapter 4. I'm sitting there last night in bed, brown noise on, like so locked in. I'm reading chapter 4, and all I am imagining, because this man is walking to work in his small town, and these people that have businesses like near his on his way to work are like stopping him and trying to gossip and figure out what's going on with the whole situation. And it literally reminded me so much of this one specific scene in Gilmore Girls. And if you've seen Gilmore Girls, then you know what I'm talking about, maybe even before I say it out loud. But it reminded me of the scene in Gilmore Girls where Christopher is in Stars Hollow for the first time ever, and him and Rory are walking through the town, and everyone and their mom is gossiping about it, stopping and trying to talk to them, or talking to other people and getting caught. Like, it's just a whole thing, and it was giving that vibe so heavily, and it actually just made me love this even more, because anytime I can relate something to Gilmore Girls and it's giving me the same feeling, that's a great feeling, let me tell you. So I just rambled a lot. Clearly I'm liking this. I'm only 48 pages in. No, 49 pages in. So clearly I'm really enjoying this. I cannot wait to keep reading this. I am gonna read a bit of this before I go to bed with my brownie, and I'm so excited. But I just wanted to give you guys a reading update. That is the update. That is all. I will see you guys when we are doing some reading. Hey besties, it's time for a reading update. I just want to start by saying that I'm really low energy because honestly, I'm just struggling today. I started my period today, which I'm in pain because I'm cramping, but that's also bringing a lot of emotions up because I shouldn't be having a period right now. I should be pregnant. And I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say, because I've already been crying. My makeup is messed up. Anyways, we're sitting outside of Barnes. I'm gonna give you a quick reading update, and then we're gonna go in Barnes and we're gonna do a little reading. We're gonna get a fun little drink and just sit and hopefully have a better day, because I'm really struggling. So anyways, as you guys know, we are reading When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and I am currently on page 147, chapter 18, and I am really enjoying this book. This has been such a fun, sweet romance read. I have really been enjoying both of our main characters, really seeing the depth to both of our characters. Our main female character, Amelia, she has just so much like depth to her. People obviously are gonna think she's like stuck up like a little princess because she is like one of the biggest pop stars, but in reality she is struggling, and that is why she has like run away to this town. And don't worry, that is just not a spoiler, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure that's in the synopsis. But anyway, so seeing the depth to her and kind of just seeing how she's opening herself up to these new experiences, to these new people, and just really trying to enjoy herself, and seeing Noah's perspective and just kind of seeing his relationship with his sisters is really sweet, and just learning more about him and like why he is the way that he is also really fun. I've just been really enjoying the characters. I've been really enjoying the dynamic between these two characters. Noah's sisters, seriously, I've been loving when they're in scenes because it's just so fun. I'm loving the small town vibes. I'm just honestly thoroughly enjoying this, and I can't wait to sit down and keep reading. I'm honestly hoping to finish this book today. I think I'm about halfway through, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. That's the reading update. We're now gonna go into Barnes and we're gonna get a drink and we're gonna sit down and do some reading. Let's go in Barnes. The lighting is crazy. The social anxiety today is going strong, but I feel like you can't see me. Oh, that's a lot better. Anyways, I got a drink. I got a caramel brulee, which I actually haven't had since I tried it for the first time last winter. And the girl who made it for me, I swear to God, no other Starbucks I go to, no one else who makes me my drink makes it as good as this girl right here. And she put my name on it. Let me show you. It's spelled wrong, but it's the thought that counts. And actually, I'm having such a bad day, and she doesn't know that. And just today, out of all days, she puts my name on it with a bunch of hearts. I could actually start sobbing right now, actually. So let's try it. I'm not a huge caramel person, but that's actually good. Anyways, we're gonna read. I'm gonna put on the brown noise. Shout out to Miss Emmy. Really helps me lock in.
Old days, I used to think I'm the problem, that I was way too sensitive, reacting way too much, until I realized we were different types, carrying a different triggers, scaring us to death. Oh, someday we will collide.
Hey besties, it is time for a reading update. And yes, if I look the same as the intro, it's because I just filmed it. Anyways, I finished When in Rome, and I know I did not get very much footage of me reading this book, but I feel like that's because when I was sitting down to read it, I actually was reading it very quickly, and I actually did the majority of reading for this book at night before bed, so it's like dark, I'm laying in bed with Makai and Elijah, and I'm just like not gonna film at that point of the night when I'm laying in bed with my husband and my kid, but I did finish it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this book. This was such a fun romance. I feel like this was genuinely the most perfect romance I could have picked up for getting out of this book slump. This phase was short and sweet, and that is exactly what this book was. It was short, just barely over 300 pages, and man oh man, was it sweet. The dynamic between our two main characters was so honestly like refreshing. Just I don't even know if that makes sense, but it felt very refreshing. I genuinely really loved seeing their relationship and their connection kind of blossom. We have Amelia, who is really struggling and she's very burnt out and she's just trying to get away. And then we have our main male character, Noah, and he is very guarded and he has very valid reasons to be super guarded, and they both kind of tell themselves that they are not going to fall for this other person, but obviously it's a romance book. We all know what's going to end up happening, and I really enjoyed the ride. I really enjoyed the writing style of this. I thought that the whole she's a really famous pop star and he's just your local small town pie shop owner was so fun. Overall, I really enjoyed this. I can totally understand why this book is so hyped up. I feel like this is a romance book that I hear a lot of people talking about, and I 100% get why. I really loved this. I ate it up. It was such a quick, easy read, but it was just exactly what I needed, and it's just like the perfect short little rom-com. I absolutely loved this. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It's not my favorite romance book I've ever read. It didn't really like touch my soul the way that I feel like a 5-star book typically does. However, again, I really enjoyed it and I would highly recommend this to really anyone. This has like no spice, so if you're someone that doesn't like that, I would highly recommend this because I literally actually don't think there was like any. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on this because I'm repeating myself. So that is that it means we are officially out of phase 3 and we are moving into phase 4, which is what I like to call out of the woods. We are finally out of our slump. We have gotten out of the woods. The clearing is there, okay? So what we are gonna be doing is starting the first book in a fantasy series, probably the most popular fantasy series there is on Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram, literally everywhere, okay? It's just so, okay, I'm gonna stop explaining it and just tell you what it is. We're gonna be starting The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. Yes, you heard it here first. I am finally going to be starting the Throne of Glass series, but I hate to break it to you guys, if you do wanna see me read not only this book, but the 2 following this, so Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, you will unfortunately have to wait till the next reading vlog where I will be, in fact, doing just that. So if you want to see that and you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you know when this reading vlog comes out. Let me know down below if you want this reading vlog to be spoiler free or if you want it to have spoilers, or if you want there to be a spoiler section at the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts, let me know what you want, and I will deliver that to you on a silver platter this time next week. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. No, you're fine. Anyways. I always fuck some shit up. Different whoa. Decision. Whoa. Rome. Whoa. Someone is pulling up next to me. Reading of this. Whoa. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then Barnes, up, zoom in on the sign, zoom out, back down. Let's go. We're at the, okay.
I wasn't trying to reach you.
Another, no, breaking this date. You know what's crazy is I'm like really like happy-go-lucky right now. You would not guess that 20 minutes ago I was sobbing in my shower. I thought I was forgetting his name. No, that's his name. So cute. Hold on, right after this lady. Okay. Better, nope. I just messed up.
Did you guess that? Okay.
She did steal Elijah though, so we're free of that guy.
What the fuck? The Heil Smith. Whoa. I love a good grumpy shunt. Whoa. Why do I feel like I already don't remember if there was smut in this, but I really don't think there was.
Might as well just go.
Okay, listen. This is making me nervy. That was really random, but anyways. That is me and Caitlin sitting in the library reading and trying not to laugh because that's all we do. As she literally laughs. From our, whoa, whoa, oh my god. But also, does that happen to any of you where you like read a book and you like just finished it not that long ago and then you're like, wait, what the hell happened? I mean, I know what happened. I feel like Will. Us. What? I what? Out of 5 stars. What? Anyways, as you, these bangs are really irritating me. 2024. Whoa. What better play? Whoa. That's how it was. Whoa. Okay, that works. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I'm not. I'm fine. Whoa. Okay, we're not actually gonna do it because I can't talk BookTube, but whoa.